All right, all you Scorpio people out there, this is you guys. This is Tarot Lumination. This is your love and relationship mini report for April 2018. Now it's for, it's a general thing. So if it doesn't make much sense to you, watch for your sun, moon, or rising. One of those, it'll probably make more sense then. And then you can reinterpret, okay? Also, do your cross-watching. I know a lot of you guys do that. I know a lot of you guys are also really sophisticated readers, too. I've been discovering that here on the channel. So please forgive me if I stray from the norm, or if TL readings are not, let's say, traditional. Anyway, no worries. We're going to work with the Crucible spread, shuffling to the last second as we go, so that you're a witness. No jumpers, flyers, oracles, or reversals. Sorry, no time, no space. And we're going to work on the Crucible spread. Like I said, there's you and the significant other, and then there's the relationship itself, which has its own energy, identity, integrity, and in a loving, healthy relationship is nurtured and honored and respected. And both parties conduct themselves through the relationship more than face-to-face, so to speak. In other words, the relationship is paramount. All right, let's just see what happens. So, April, now, I just remembered something, Scorpio. I was just making some little astro notes for myself here, but there's something I think coming right up at the end. Where is it? Taurus, Scorpio. I think I've got it already at the right page. April 29th. Yes. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I wanted to mention. These are my own notes, but this might be interesting to you. There is a full moon. Okay? Scorpio moon, Taurus sun on April 29th. I know that's a little ways from now, but that'll be here very soon, more than you know. And it's kind of an oddball thing because, well, for you, Scorpio, it's going to be right on the nose with relationship dynamics, of course. Scorpio and Taurus, Taurus and Scorpio, so you're going to feel it big time in relationships. But there's a lot of harmony going on there with the Scorpio, Capricorn, Taurus energy. So that could alleviate things. However, also, there is an effective large T-square here with the Leo North Node. So how that translates, like if we put you on the horizon here, gosh, this is going to make a long reading if I keep going. I'm sorry, I don't want to get too carried away. But let's put it this way. A very, very important aspect of this full moon is going to have an impact on your sense of being in this world, your destiny, your place, your dharma. So please take that into account. But you have plenty of time to figure that out, all right? All right, so sorry, I got carried away there. Last second shuffles, just making sure we're clear to go. Sorry, that took a while. Here we go. Let's dive in. We're going to cut it all now. Really break it up. And please bring your angels into the viewing. I like to offer Tarot Lumination angels. They're here anyway, but I like to make it known, okay? So here we go. This would be the love energy that you'd be, let's say, radiating, transmitting. And over here, like even singles can watch this if you want to. If you really stretch it with the laws of attraction, you're always radiating, and ultimately it attracts a reflection. So this could be the energy of what if, like, what if, as opposed to a significant other that already exists in your life. But mostly this is, designed for couples, but you can reinterpret for singles if you really, really want. Okay, because I know some people ask, and I'm just trying to help. So this would be you. This would be significant other, a chosen one, chosen, but it's your reading about you, Scorpio, going deep into the soul of you, deep into the soul of the other, and to the core itself, the relationship. As you can see here, the bowl shape, the crucible, the mighty structure in which the intimacy and separation of relationships can occur without everything exploding every time we intimate and separate. And this would be the momentum over here. We're going to look at circumstantial energy surrounding everything surrounding you, Scorpio. And of course, you're going to make the most of it. So you have the Five of Wands here. So, In a way, it doesn't surprise me with the Aries energy very, very strong now. And it's in, it just tends to churn things up. And so you might feel as though in your circumstances, your environment, in your love relationship here, that whatever challenges might happen are actually, let's just treat it as a blessing, okay? As a way for you to come into greater strength, greater awareness, greater, let's say, ability and skills and practice to be able to conduct and live a healthy, loving relationship. So whatever challenges do occur for you during this April season, especially up to the full moon, when it will become very evident, you know, Scorpio moon and the Taurus sun, it's going to really hit you on the nose with relationship dynamics, then please treat it as something that's really good for you. No matter how challenging, okay? It's going to be good for you. Let's say challenging, invigorating circumstances. What are you... Okay, well, the Page of Cups here, let's just admit it. You're going in with a high degree of innocence, and it's very likely that a lot is going to come to the surface by the end of April, most evidently around that full moon. And luckily, I feel this is very harmonious energy in that you're already aware that, you know, like all of us, we're all innocent to a high degree or to a certain degree, but that doesn't mean we're losers or that we're useless or whatever. It just means that we're human beings and we're on a journey and we're learning as we go along, and it's exciting and it's fun. And this is a very good indication that you're already ahead of the curve, that you're fully aware of your own innocence, of your own naivety, and how much you still have to learn, how much you still have to grow. And yes, it's going to be a challenge, but it's also worth it because it can be very, very satisfying when you, let's say, meet your match. Okay? So let's have a look. Da, 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 da. So, with the Seven of Cups here, you might be relating with someone who is kind of at the point of wigging out almost losing it in one sense, but also, I know this is stretching it, a lot of people wouldn't see this way, but it's almost like a dreams come true scenario where you're dealing with someone, to me, who feels as though they're a very deeply spiritual being, and they have a very, very, very close connection to heaven, to the point where other people might see them as freaks or weird or kind of nutty. And that can make it very hard back down here on three-dimensional earth plane. But if you, since both of you are resonating at least in the same bandwidth, you know, the energy of love here, I don't see any harm in that. And what I sense is that through this month, as you, let's say, endeavor through the steps of this journey, and they are there with you, you might see them as like the reflection in some ways of your own dreams come true. Like, I know a lot of people don't see that card this way, but sometimes for me it feels like, it's going to sound really corny, but that disco ball of love. It's like, to me, this is like love in a sort of a radiant form where it is amorphous, kind of androgynous, where it's like you can make of it what you will. And they're very happy to be there for you in any way and every way that they can. And they are living the dream with you, and you have the chance to live the dream with them. And they have a very close connection with heaven. And even though it's very hard to handle and carry this energy, it can be very divine if you just literally allow it to flow. If it comes across as though they're a bit lost in some ways in trying to figure out what do they actually feel in terms of love, what is the definition of love in the context of this loving relationship, how does it actually translate into tangible words that you could talk about in a meeting or a conversation. That's a whole different thing. That would be very, very hard to describe. But it can happen. I sometimes think of this as the Einstein card, where if you remember that story about how Einstein discovered E equals mc squared, and he realized that he didn't know himself and he couldn't figure it out, so he asked for divine inspiration. He deliberately took himself out into that little lake, into that pond, and just stared up into the sky at night, waiting for the inspiration and the love message to arrive. And then it did, and there the rest is history. Okay? So it's that kind of energy. You're dealing with someone here who is directly plugged into heaven, and they are in some ways a mystery to themselves. And in some ways it's a very beautiful thing. Very, very beautiful, magical thing. Let's have a look. What's going on deep inside of you? Okay. Well, it seems to me that part of your desire is to create a sense of stability and structure for yourself, first and foremost, that without which it would be very hard for you to conduct yourself in this kind of relationship with this kind of person, because this is very, very nebulous energy, almost Neptunian in some ways, that would be very hard to tie down in terms of a traditional, what you would call, relationship of any kind. And so in other words, to allow them, your significant other, to be who they truly are, which would be literally like an angel energy, a multi-dimensional disco ball of love type of energy, to actually have that functional and operational in 3D life here in this world, would require you, Scorpio, to have a lot of sense of self-worth and stability inside of yourself, and know, and a full understanding about how lucky you are, how incredibly fortunate you are to be who you are and have the relationship that you have over here, even if it's very hard to understand, even if it's very, very outside the norm. It's still workable here because of your own willingness and determination to create the abundance that can come from this, like being appreciative of it, and having, it's almost like preparing the garden for this to flourish. That's kind of how I'm feeling here. Deep down, I feel like in your soul, you, Scorpio, have the capacity to make that happen. And that is kind of your wish. It's just like, I would love to do this. I would love to be like this amazing person who is a distinct and capable individual in their own right, who also has the ability to integrate with such like an angelic being over here. Okay? Not exactly easy, but extremely, let's say, appealing, if you like that kind of heavenly type of relationship. What's going on inside of them? Okay, well, they're obviously fully aware that there's something very big deal going on here in terms of love relationship. In fact, they may be at the point where they are fully aware that this would be like the one, okay? Like in the fullest sense that everyone talks about these things, the twin flame, all those thousands of twin flame videos, soulmate videos, whatever you want to call it, and that this is a very, very significant, very important relationship to your significant other here, Scorpio. So I think they're very deeply aware of it, and how it has a very much how it has a very heavenly tone to it, a very angelic tone to the whole thing, which from my perspective, makes things very challenging, because how do you bring that down to earth? How do you bring heaven down to earth? Especially in the form of a very significant, durable, lifetime, a lifelong bonding type of relationship that can withstand the ravages of time, how we intimate and how we separate. Because in a relationship like this, like anything and everything is possible. And it's like it has, from their perspective, it has all the credentials of the relationship, how it is for them. So the question then comes, gulp. It's almost like gulp. I'm a Scorpio. Can I actually handle this? Is this beyond my grasp? Is this person beyond my grasp? Even though they know deep down inside that this is the relationship for them. So in a way, it's good to have your own innocence and naivety exposed. Okay, Scorpio, so that at least you can understand how to deal with it. All right, let's have a look at the core. So, yeah, with the King of Swords here, what I'm feeling is that this, to me, it feels like this relationship with this significant other is giving you, Scorpio, the chance to rise to your real capacity in the relationships, where you can be kind of like a guide, like a seer, in a way to like make sense of the relationship for them, so that they don't have to be lost and confused about it, so that they can understand and have the chance to manifest this relationship as like probably one of, if not the most important relationship in their life. And the relationship itself becomes a hallmark of what is good and what is loving in a relationship. So the relationship itself becomes very significant. It's not just about you. It's not just about them. It's not your deep inner soul drive to, let's say, provide for them, create structure, have your own sense of independence and strength, which helps them to manifest this amazing thing that is already existing at the soul level. And let's just say, with all of your best efforts, kaboom, you make that happen, because you're so courageous and bold and you can handle this. Then it puts you in a situation where you are now joint owner of a relationship that becomes almost like, what's the word I was going to use? A template. It has all the hallmarks of like what other people would like. If they wanted help, if they wanted understanding, if they wanted wisdom, they know that they could trust you, because you guys would be a living example of a relationship that works according to, let's say, divine laws, like the laws of the universe, in a way that is unequivocal. It isn't wishy-washy. It isn't fake. There's no like fudging it here. There's no oh, we're doing it for the money. Oh, she got pregnant. Oh, she's really, really hot, or he's really, really hot, and our family's pressured us into it. Oh, I got drunk one night. It's none of that. It is none of that at all. This is the energy of a very deeply chosen relationship, where all the stuff that's very, very hard to understand is brought into understanding. All the things that are very hard to manifest on earth are brought into manifestation in such a way that is noble, just, honest, and built to stand the test of time. It's like till death us do part kind of energy. So it isn't just romance. It is love, but it is love in the official form. It's like, this is serious. This is the real deal kind of thing. What are the prospects here? Well, it looks pretty much like almost like a marriage to me. This almost looks like a marriage made in heaven. Literally, a marriage made in heaven. So I don't want to spoil it by talking too much more. That's what I see like the prospects here. But it's also an indication of a relationship that can be observed by others as a formula for happiness. In other words, wow, if that Scorpio can do it with that person, or if that person can do it with that Scorpio, and they can get this together, that's pretty cool. Hey, you Scorpio, whatever it is you're taking, I want what you're taking. What do you want? What is that your sweetheart over there? What are they on? What are they taking? And you have the recipe. You have the knowledge. You have the wisdom. The relationship speaks for itself. Okay? Do I have to explain this, people? Ten of Cups, beauty here, the happiness, the joy, holding hands, holding the waist, sharing this, sharing the love, owning the love, having the love, symbolizing the love, living by example. Be loving, be loved. Be loving, be loved. Be loving, be loved. And it works. You're a living example, Scorpio. Okay, so here we go. I'll just put this on the side, and you guys can reinterpret however you want. If it sounds confusing, watch for your sun, moon, and rising. Okay, thank you very much. All the best. And really pay attention towards the end of the month for the full moon. Okay, bye. Bye.